so the art game. So we're all artists. We've all been in here. What? How long have you been in the art game?
I think about 15 years.
Old master.
Not really.
Yeah, Toby.
2011.
2011. Okay. Alice.
2 years.
2 years. Newbie. COVID artist.
Yeah, that's it.
No. Sharon.
15 years.
15 years.
So long I've known you now.
Yeah.
Did you?
Me 6 years, I think. 7 years now. In order, I think I followed Sharon first, then not Toby, then Dave, then Toby, and then Alice. That's the way. But Sharon was one of my first inspirations, I think, in the area. Then I met you through the art trail.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And then I met you, Toby, because Dave Hero worshipped you, and then I met you. And then I met you through Background Bob.
You did indeed.
Yeah.
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 It's my cousin.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
So how the art world sort of speaks
I
to
haven't
each
got
other.
in there with him yet.
Yeah.
I haven't taken notice.
Yeah, so I will introduce everybody anyway. So introducing people around the room. So we've got Dave Nivard, Toby Brown, Andy Downs, Alice Nichols, and Sharon Stone. Cool. Right, okay. How are we going to do this? The art game, the art world. So, has anybody got any future projects coming up that they know of? Anything to shout about at the moment?
Well,
We've got one in June, haven't we?
Mark, we've got a show coming up.
Yeah,
in
whereabouts
June.
is that?
Camden.
How many were there?
4 of us.
4 of us.
Is there a theme to it, or is there any?
It's called Perception.
Yeah.
Is it?
I suppose it's just kind of from your own mind experiences, you know, putting your stories down for loose interpretation. But yeah, I think the title speaks for itself.
So how many other artists are in that show?
Mark, Gina, who you know.
Oh, right, Mark. Yeah, cool.
Gina,
yeah.
And me.
So you're the other party.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sorry, Mark's off camera here. You should be in on this as well. I didn't realise. I apologise. I didn't know. You didn't introduce me properly. That's why I'm around it. Okay, is it all new work or is it...
All new work from me.
Bits and pieces, some new work.
Forever the committal.
Yeah, well, probably half new work.
Yeah. Is it? Sorry, did you say is there a common theme or?
Well, it's just sort of from you, isn't it? You know, your perceptions of things.
Yeah,
the
the
relates
modern
to your
world around us,
experiences
and all that.
Yeah, I'm doing it through portraiture.
Yeah.
So.
Because Gina's is quite.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of Mark's work. What's
you?
Colourful.
Colourful.
Not really on social media.
He uses a lot of links.
Because Gina's is kind of in your face and it's a story within a story, isn't it? And it's colourful.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mark's haven't seen yours yet, so I need to get on the bandwagon for that. Anyone else? Sharon?
The Ironworks, about September time.
Okay.
I've got my own little wall in there.
Oh, have you? You've got
Yeah.
your whole solo show.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
All new work for that? Or is it
hope
like
so.
a life story, a body of
Yeah.
what's going on so far?
Yeah, it might be what's in here today.
Yeah,
Depends.
yeah. Depends if you sell it or not.
Yeah.
And yourself, you've got one in Manningtree at the moment, haven't you?
Yeah, at Navy Stitch.
Yeah, Navy Stitch.
Yeah.
And then maybe a visual screen in, is it the Holy Art in New York?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
October.
And
Yeah.
you've just done the Holy Art in Athens as well.
I
haven't you?
did, that was good fun.
Yeah. Did you feel you get much from that?
Yeah, it was good fun, and I got to go to Athens.
Oh, you did go?
Oh, I went,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I think that was the appeal.
You going to New York then?
Yeah, I hope so.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
take
good,
them on.
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, on social media. So how does people feel at the moment with social media? Are people getting followers at all? Are they getting random
No.
people? Or
Seems to be getting worse.
Instagram seems to have died a bit.
Yeah.
A bit.
What
Sure.
has?
Instagram.
Yeah. I was reading, I watched this video about TikTok. Are you on TikTok?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, right, well, I won't talk about it
No. Talk about it. Dave's got lots of
then.
horrible facts about
No,
TikTok.
it was just the algorithms. Apparently, they'll feed you a little false thing.
Oh,
So you put your videos on, and about 45 in, they'll give you a really big one, and it's kind of like a.
Actually, there's a science behind it. It's called intermittent reinforcement, and they've actually made this algorithm based on these tests they've done on, I think, like birds or whatever, where if they gave them a bit of food every time they hit this button, they got bored quite quickly.
Yeah.
And if they didn't give them any food, they got bored. But if they randomised it, they went crackers, and they never stopped hitting the button. And they've done exactly the same thing for humans. So you get drip fed this random good post, and it literally hooks you and makes you get dopamine hits.
If you look at normal people on TikTok, you've got about 250 views per video.
Yeah.
And every so often you'll get a nice one that will make you go back on there again.
Yeah,
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so if you're just a normal random person, that is all you're ever going to get.
So yeah, Instagram and that, you don't really get any new followers, do you now?
You're one
Yeah.
here on there. Whereas
Mine
before,
drop off more than come up.
it just
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
not
what's happened
possible
to it.
to one step forward and two steps back.
Facebook's a waste of time.
Mm.
It's good local and for community, it's brilliant. But
Good for
it's,
events, isn't it?
But for reach, they want you to spend on the adverts, and even then, nothing seems to happen.
Yeah.
That's it. Instagram's the best one, but that's dropped off massively.
Have you ever paid for the adverts?
Little bits. Depends where you. I think I targeted like India or something, just as an experiment. I got thousands of
I
likes.
did that, didn't I?
Makes it look impressive for someone who doesn't search who you've been liked by, but.
I've got 11,000 views on a video for doing India.
you?
Yeah. They love the art over there.
I sponsored to get up to 4,000 views, and hilariously, I got exactly 4,000 views. I think I told you at the time about
it
it.
tells you how many you can aim for that price.
I didn't think I'd get exactly the number though.
Well, no, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, I know the platforms are free, but that's all they want to do. You know, and they just want us to spend money with them.
There's nothing else. Is there?
Flickr
What
or
else is there?
Vero, you know, we get a few views, which
Have you gone on there then? I don't know. I haven't used them.
Vero was actually around before Instagram, but it's not got any algorithm, and you're just literally who you've followed and follows you,
Yeah.
as opposed to getting stuff thrown up randomly in your feed, like new reach or whatever.
What I've found with, because there's quite, like I do crafting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of craft places, because you've got Etsy that's massive, and then you get all these little ones that come off, and they advertise it, and it's like it's free for the first year and all that. But all you've got is the other crafters on there. So
Right.
unless they're going to buy off me, there's no point in me being on there. It's hard for companies like that to get up, isn't it?
Do you sell on Etsy?
I've sold one piece on there and I've come off it, because you pay like about 13p for each item that you put on, then you pay more when you sell it, and it's just
Because
and monthly as well. They take monthly money off you.
If you can get a following
Yeah.
and you've got your own site, your own commerce site, that's where the money is.
Got to be on it all the time, and then Instagram want you to be on it all the time.
Facebook's the same, because you get my page, you get little messages. Oh, your activity's slowed down. Do this to.
Yeah.
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 I don't get those. I've given up with Facebook really. I post on there occasionally for the studio now, but I've just given up with it really. It's in the stories on Facebook as well. That's dropped off completely for me.
Has it?
I was getting like 150 views on the stories, and now I'm getting 3, 4.
Everyone's getting bored.
I'm bored of me.
That's what I feel like
I've
people
become
are bored
Robbie
of me.
Williams. That annoying git. That's what I've become. Instagram stories. I get a lot more on my Instagram stories than I actually do on the posts. You know, again, I can get up to 200 people on the stories, but on the posts I get 20, 30. It spikes at 100 if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
But you know, you should be worried about that. But I think when you go into analytics, you see what your reach is. You're still reaching quite a few people. I just think people's attention span is getting even shorter now, so they're not even bothering to like it now. They just scroll. Does that picture suit me? Yes, no. And then they just move on, don't they? Which is a shame, isn't it?
Well, apparently videos, you have to look at them for 3 seconds for you to clock a view. So I'm all excited when I'm like, oh, I've got 1,000 views, but most people have probably just gone like that, slowly.
YouTube Shorts is the one you want to get into. I've had a little dabble, and overnight some of them have had nearly 3,000 views.
Really?
I mean, it's not big compared. Yeah, YouTube Shorts is the way forward.
So I haven't done that. I've on YouTube.
Well, what
I've done it for years.
They've had
Yeah.
a massive amount of their traffic's been stolen by TikTok, but what they've done is to kind of start getting it back, they're offering like up to nearly 50% ad revenue to people that have opted in for advertising. Whereas TikTok, millions of views gets you about 20p. So you can potentially be
A million views, 20.
No, I think that KSI YouTuber, he was talking about it, and he has something like 200 million views on TikTok. He got $3,000 for it. Now, if that would have been YouTube, you would have had a small fortune come your way. So YouTube Shorts that's the one to watch out for at the moment.
But off the back of Dave's advice the other day about YouTube Shorts, I thought I'd try a few. So this is my YouTube Short history. So 15 views, 19, 52, 10, 232, 185, 597, 1,200, which is a Lego figure.
What, your little spaceman? Or
Yeah,
what?
where he disappeared.
Yeah. It's
And
mad what people want to watch, isn't it?
And then the last one I put up the other day, 1. And I think that was me.
Yeah.
So yeah, God knows, no idea.
I subscribe to you on there.
Do you?
Yeah.
That might be new then.
Might be me. Didn't watch that one.
But yeah, there's no other platforms worth visiting, is there? There's nothing at the moment. We're kind of all trapped in this Instagram and Facebook bubble, and Instagram's owned by Facebook anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? So is it still London or bust, do you think?
Or major city, yeah.
What other major cities do you think which are relevant to the art game?
Manchester, Bristol. I mean, Bristol's a massive one.
Bristol's supposed to be good.
You been there? I think awesome place.
You went, didn't you, a little while ago?
Fantastic, yeah.
Have they got many galleries in Bristol?
Enough, yeah. We only scratched the surface when we went there. It was in sort of partial lockdown, so it was kind of, a lot of places were sort of shut.
They have a big street art festival there, though, don't they?
Upfest,
as well?
yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll be bigger than that one day with our Southend cultural experience and the street art jam and all those sort of things.
Definitely, I think so. I think it's rejuvenating it.
Yeah, I think, considering that most of the art and culture experience in Southend is sort of driven by the artists themselves, musicians and artists, I think with the push, maybe more collectively now through social media, so to speak, that Southend could actually sort of be a lot bigger and a lot more heard than it has been in the past. And we've certainly got people like Carl, which obviously is not here today, but Carl, he's a big advocate of the Street Art Jam last year, and I know he wants it to go ahead this year, and that was massive for the area, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And bring on sort of them sort of things. The high street is obviously changing, and that you need to have all these cool experiences to bring people into the area, don't we? The Street Art Jam was excellent because that was very interactive with people. Next year's one, I've asked him if I can do a board where just the public can come and paint on it as well. So then obviously that'll add another angle to it, which would be cool.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, but Southend definitely needs it. It definitely needs to get more people from the outside to come in, and then obviously the locals to engage more in the scene, Because it's good. There's so many things going on, isn't there, in Southend? But when you actually look at it and you look at the videos from it, you only see like 20, 30 people attending some of these events, which is quite sad, really. Which again, I don't know if it's because of winter. I don't know if it's because people are too happy with their TVs nowadays and are conditioned to being indoors more than going out more.
Well, it's also people that are into art, which is quite a small percentage. And Southend, without knocking it, it's sort of demographic. The average person, if you go down the high street, I'm not saying this horribly, but you're not going to get many people that love art.
Got no culture.
That's what you wanted
we'll
to say.
We'll keep that in the edit, that bit.
He wanted to say that, and I said it.
There's supposedly 180,000 people live in this area.
Of which 80 like art.
Surely they've all got walls, and on those walls sits art.
Not the sort of art we do.
So on that note, do you think that we all price our art too high?
Locally, probably, yeah. It's a tough one. I don't think people have value for art locally. They just think, I could have done that, or give you a tenner, or you pay them to take it off you. It's got to be cities.
Yeah, but
London.
the shops like the Range and places like that have done it for us, though, haven't they? Because you can go in there and get a really nice piece
£20.
Whoa.
And it's
Careful, you
unique.
won't bet.
I know.
And it's been uniquely painted, even though there's a thousand, like, I don't know, like
Versions of it.
Yetis or whatever. They've all, someone's got a conveyor belt and they're just doing nearly the same, but they're all unique.
But you can chuck it out when you change your decor in a few years' time. That's the thing.
Well, it comes down to individuals that dig your stuff, finding that audience.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't sell a lot, but I sell enough. I'm quite happy ticking over.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to live off of it, so I'm not fussed about it. But if someone was trying to make a living, I don't think you could. You've got to do other things like teaching, demonstrations. You've got to push yourself further.
Can't
Pets,
just paint.
people's dogs and cats, kids.
Thing you've got pet sit for a minute.
I don't want to.
Jobbing artist, though, isn't it? That's just not commercial, but it's, you know, doing
You
what
do
you
like
need
pets,
to.
don't you?
I painted someone's cat and I got knocked at the last minute, so I got a cat painting sitting in the Mum's going, put that on the internet, I bet that will sell. No one wants someone's cat. It's a nice cat.
They'll have it.
Yeah. All right.
I know, it is hard. It's hard. I mean, I've got a second job. Well, I call myself an artist with a second job. You have. You're a full-time artist, aren't you? That's all you do. You've got a second job, tattooist, and you're a full-time artist as well.
You're a full-time artist, are you?
No.
Are you not? Do you work?
No.
What's your day?
It's
Sounds
leisure.
full-time artist.
Painting an hour a day.
Yeah. That
Plenty
is
of
hard.
leisure.
Does everybody feel since COVID that life just seems to got a lot busier? Do you feel that way? I do. I feel there's a lot more to be on top of, and there's a lot more things going on since COVID.
Oh yeah, there's more effort at the moment. I don't know how long it's going to last.
Yeah,
There's been things going on like with the ironworks opening and
yeah. It's almost like after everyone's sort of kept quiet, then everyone's sort of struggling to get a big piece of the pie again, isn't it, to make up for that void, you know?
Yeah.
And then there's a lot going on, isn't there, all the time?
Yeah,
A lot
but
of people set things up and
10,000 more artists that have come out from lockdown as well.
I know. They've certainly brought a whole new sort of generation, or not generation, but group of people back to the party, so to speak.
Or maybe it hasn't got busier, it just seems like because we did nothing for 2 years.
Well, maybe. Or I'm just forgetting more because I'm getting older.
There wasn't anything going on around here though. before.
true.
It did us a favour really.
I don't know. We had the studio. That's a little known studio. That's going on.
Up there, yeah.
I'm joking.
That's about it though.
No, but there's a big push again, isn't it? The railway's gone. You've got 21, which are trying to push music left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
The ironworks, which will, I feel, if they, if it carries on, that will just go from strength to strength because they find their feet a lot more. They've certainly got the venue. They've just got to work out the dynamics of using it properly now. 21, say they're big push. So that's two nice big music venues in the areas, and the others. You've got Tingbury Bowls and Pegasus, I suppose, which is small.
Yeah,
ones.
there's little places. That Craftwork place is
Yeah,
to do
Craftworks,
music
yeah.
and things
You
like
go
that.
there, don't you?
They've got art on the wall because Nicola did the skateboard rolled up in there.
Right.
God, it works there, Marine Mammal, I think he calls himself. The art on the skateboards you're talking about.
Yeah, but Nicola Osborne did one as
Yeah,
well.
she
I don't
did
know if you've
flowers
been in
and
there.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, no, there's a guy who works who does art and gets it printed on balls and whatnot. Sort of quite
You
quirky.
can just go in and get one, can't you?
No, I think they've stopped doing that now.
Oh right, he said I can have one if I wanted one,
Oh,
but I didn't show
Well,
up.
you're special, so
Typically
you
me,
get
I
one.
didn't show up. Right, what else should we talk about?
Well, on the list, inspiration.
We'll look at Dave's list.
Oh,
How long have you been an artist? No.
done that.
Yeah, okay, so if we're going to talk about sort of lack of sales and how hard it is to be on the internet, then what really is everyone's drive to create? I mean, what drives you to create? Why do you do it?
I just do it because it helps people, my portraits, I suppose.
In what way?
Mental health problems and gives them, they kind of feel forgotten about. So when I approach them to paint their portrait and hear their story, for one, I'm listening to them, and they're getting it out, and then I'm painting a portrait, so they've got something at the end of it.
Yeah, so you're highlighting them as a human.
Yeah, it's not a horrible portrait. It's kind of a
Yeah, no, yours are lovely. So, I mean, if you do approach somebody, say, I'd like to paint you, it is a real flattering thing, isn't
I've
it?
had a lot of no's. Though.
Have you?
Yeah, a lot.
That's interesting.
Because people don't want to open up about it. It's still
Right.
taboo.
Raw for them as well.
So
isn't it?
it's more in the people in the mental health sort of sense, so I don't know, so to
But
speak.
I'm getting more men on board, which was the idea to start with. Women just come. They talk about their mental health problems a lot easier than me.
They buy your
Right.
pieces
A lot
though.
of them do.
Yeah.
Because you teach as well, don't you? So
Mark, his mum runs a Rethink Mental Illness art
Right.
therapy group, so I used to go to that quite regular, but
Oh,
I've
okay.
been too busy at the minute.
Yeah. Interesting. Dave?
Let's just
do a lap. Just do a lap.
expression, get ideas out that I couldn't use, get out of words.
Yeah.
And there's something, when it's there in a picture, it's there, you know, it's being said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I thought of doing it without selling, I'd still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's expression. And not always, but sometimes when you're actually working, or the way I work, which is pretty slapdash most of the time, the actual event, I don't get that if it's sort of slow and meticulous, but if it's just in one sitting and I'm going crazy with it, the actual enjoyment of the event as well is,
Yeah.
you know, a
You enjoy just creating.
big thing, yeah.
Can you see where it's going when you first start?
The intention, yeah, but it changes so much after time that I just give up trying and just see what happens. It's probably lack of skill.
That's a good question, actually. With everyone, do you know what you're good? Do you plan, basically? You know, like sometimes I sort of have an idea, but 9 times out of 10 it never comes out for me how I think it's going to come out anyway. Is it the same for everyone, or do you kind of know? You know, do you know the minute you start like with your new pieces, do you right, that is what I'm going to do, and you have that vision in your head?
Changes, and it did change. I mean, it was originally, the big one was going to be pink.
Right.
I had all this pink in my head, and I think I spoke to you about it. I was going to have a bird around it, and that got scuppered. I sleep. I go to sleep and I think about it, and it.
Oh
plan it
wow,
out.
you're just manifesting your dreams.
But it looks, there's certain elements of it that are different, but as it unfolds, I kind of get another idea from that, you know, it kind of, so, yeah. I mean, the clock was not the first idea that I had, but it didn't take too long. Obviously, you've got a circle. It kind of just came.
Yeah.
But, yeah, a lot of it's, I'll go to bed thinking about
It's
it.
quite ad hoc and all that.
Yeah.
What about yours? Because yours is quite, well, I don't know, I mean, obviously beautiful, but you work off of a reference, and is yours more about working out what colour palette you're going to do, or what sort of...
Yeah, I mean,
how you
I
get
do love that blue. I'm just drawn to it. It's a landscape colour.
What phalo?
Yeah, yeah. I just love it.
It's powerful as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
A tiny bit goes a long way.
Yeah, it does.
You can't get it out of your brushes.
No, my brushes are knackered. But, yeah. I sometimes see it. Sometimes, like with the tricky one, it just. I was bored of it actually, and I just thought I'd do that. And I kind of like it. Because I did the reference photo, only had half of his hand,
Right.
so I had to make the rest up.
That's impressive.
And it was too much hard work, so I thought I'd abstract it and just make it. Yeah.
Yeah, got ya. Okay.
What about you?
Me,
Yeah.
mine never work out. I quite like the idea that I can start a painting and I don't know it's going to end up, and I quite often work that to the point that I'll finish something, look at it, and then it will sit on the shelf for a couple of weeks, and then I'll go back and I'll rework it. But I take a long time sort of looking at it and re-looking at it. I'm jealous of Dave. I call Dave a hit and run artist, because he literally goes to canvas 2 hours later. He's like, not always though. And then at the end of it, you're like, yeah, I like that, and then you're off. And I'm still painting, going, where are you gone? That's how you work.
Do you never go back to them?
No, not really. Unless it's something I'm building up, like the cat. It took a week or so, a bit at a time, tiny bit. But yeah, if it's like that one up there, that was all one sitting. That just, you know, kind of all moulds into itself as well. It's all wet, and so, you know, it works.
But the finger looks more work done, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was. I took ages on that. I mean, it's cheating, so I used a projector. And I've got a pencil, drew in every tiny little bit, and then sort of went back, you know, adding bits when it was dry. So projectors now and again have their place. Yeah.
Yeah, and on that, if you're a professional artist, which we all profess to be, whether we are or not, is that cheating?
I think it's speed. It's, you're able to do things and they're going to look a lot better and you can get through it quicker. But yeah, there is an element of that. If it's all been done with a projector,
You wouldn't hammer a nail in with your head, would you?
no.
So if you've got a tool to do it, then what's the problem using that tool? I'm just
Yeah.
throwing it out there because some people are really
I think
against
it's
it, aren't
a
they?
tool. I think it's just a tool.
Well, I think also if you get a particular artist that springs to mind, or famous artists, I won't mention them, but if they diverged every technique or secret that they use, I think that would change people's perception of their pieces. And like this person uses projectors a lot, and it's quite evident because of how anatomically spot on their work is. And a lot of this person's stuff, they've said that they use a projector, and I think if you told everyone your secrets, it would kill any mystique.
Yeah.
You need to sort of keep. Yeah, it's again accuracy. It looks a lot crisper, more professional, and it's a speed thing as well. You're not redrawing it over and over. It's spot on the first time.
Do you not think it takes an element of the artist's voice out?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you've still got the brush strokes and the colour palette and values and whatnot, but yeah, definitely, if they're all perfect because you've used a projector, then if you sort of go, oh, that's the artist that's known for doing amazing stuff with a projector, so, oh, right, well, that's that then, you know.
Yeah. See if there's anything else. What are we doing for time?
I'm freezing.
You're freezing. Do you want to do that? Is everyone cold?
What, run around a bit? I'm alright.
You have got a blanket on.
We'll probably warm up later when we've got 300 people in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hope for 300.
300?
Is there any? Yeah. Okay. So, has anyone got any influences or like highlight artist-wise? Is anybody they look to?
No.
Anybody that they know? That's the thing. I don't really.
I don't.
I can't sit here and reel off loads of artists.
I just look at stuff, but I get influenced by things around, not.
I've certainly got favourite artists that I go back to and look at their work a lot. I'm always discovering new people as well, or not new people, but artists I've heard of. Eduardo Kingman, check his stuff out. He's Ecuadorian, or was Ecuadorian. He's amazing. That's Picasso.
I love Picasso.
Picasso and Francis Bacon.
I like Lucien Freud. I like his work. I think I like how messy it is, and I like how when you get up close to it, you realise it's been reworked so many times. That's one thing I like about his work. You know, so he's kept going back to it and going, oh, I'm not happy with this, and then he's reworked the feet or the face or even the whole thing and all that. I like that because it seems less planned to me. You know, but it's still masterful, isn't it, when you look at it up close? It's the same work. Sharon, anyone? No one really? No.
No, as I say, I find interesting things about just as you're walking around and things like that.
Yeah.
So I do look at a lot of work, and there's no one that stands out anymore. Does you know? You kind of
Because there's
see.
too much.
Yeah, yeah. You do see things, and you think, oh, wish that was mine. You do get that every so often. Get a bit of envy, art envy.
Horrible. You can't really get into that, but it's hard not to, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, and you think, damn, that is so good. I wish I could have done that. But no, I don't. I don't like copying. I like doing my own original stuff. I don't like, and that was why I changed the bird, because I said to you, didn't I? I had this idea in my head, and someone, literally one of my friends in America, put this drawing that she'd done, and it was like, what? It's like what I've got in my head. I don't want to do, so I had to change it because I wouldn't do that.
Right.
And I hate it when other people do it just before me or just after me, and I think, did you get that from me? You know.
I must admit, I'm looking around this room at the moment. I'm thinking, go like, how does
So
Alice?
different.
How does Alice draw so detailed in that way? You know, to get that from pencils is insane. Like Cole's oil works as well. You know, he hates on himself for those. Would you believe?
He hates them.
He hates on himself for them. He just doesn't think they're up to scratch. Would
Really?
you believe?
I didn't even know he did anything like that.
No, well, no. Most people don't. I mean, like Toby's, they're just like visionary, aren't they? I like the latest monochrome stuff as well, because it just sort of picks out all the highlights it needs to. But so everybody's work, Dave's work, you know, it's off the wall, and it's just a different imagination to anything that I could come up with, and I love that for that as well. You know, your work is mystical and technique driven, and it's beautiful in itself. And I sit here with myself going, Jesus, you know, I want a bit of that, and I want a bit of that, and I want a bit of that. So you can always hero worship people, and there's so many people doing it. There's so many people getting out on social media. Like you say, it's hard to sort of highlight a few, really, isn't there? And I think it's like records, really. Somebody will come out with a certain piece of artwork, and you're like, yes, I love that. And then other bits, not so sure, and all that. Just like a record, really. Connor Harrington, have you ever seen any of his work? There's these big fighting scenes on side of buildings and all that. Yeah, that's it. But they're what era are they?
Well, a few hundred years ago.
Yeah, they're all wearing long coats, you know, all buttons and all that, like gentlemen, like they'd be duelling, that sort of thing, but they're actually in fights, and they've got like furry cuffs. Stunning work. And then I kind of think, I could do a bit of that. And I'm like, well, no, because then you'd just be doing what he's doing, you know.
Yeah.
So then that crosses that stream and that idea sort of stream. But can't really think of anything else. Anybody else got anything to throw in for now?
Do it because you love it.
Do I do it because
No,
I love it?
or just do it because you love it. Just a statement.
Oh, right. Oh, you can give statements, final statements, are we? Do it because you love it.
Yeah.
Have you got final statements to say to people?
Come back to me, I'll have a think about it.
Come back to me, I have to think about it. Wait for the next video for Toby. Yeah, mine is just literally, like Nike said, other trainers are available. Just do it, I suppose. Because 1 minute you've got a blank piece of paper, and then you've got something in front of you, and that's, you know, just to create. It's what humans do, really, isn't it? But don't feel the fear and do it anyway. Got anything to say? No? On the...
Final front?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay, excellent.
Can't think of anything exciting
Yeah,
or
no.
mystical to
Yeah.
say.
Sharon?
Use it or lose it, as
There
they
you go.
say.
There you go. I think we'll call that a wrap then, shall we? I think that'll do.